Well, I'm going to try this again. I don't think it'll go either. I'm going to cut it so I'm not telling anything else but this. Maybe that's the reason it went off, you think? Um, I bet somebody will make something out of that when they don't know or care about the background on this unless it happens to them. This morning on Channel 7, it was just very brief. It was talking about a documentary that's was filmed. It's going to be shown here nearby Roanoke and Charlottesville, Virginia, where they went to school, University of Virginia. I'm not going to give background except other than I was let me say met, I'm not sure it was him or Chad. I was sent through Hawkins Temp Agency out to Lovett School, and I was supposed to meet with the two of them. I met with one of them. Later, and at that time I was in the campaign to replace Congressman Larry McDonald. And this is a congressman doctor from Atlanta. Later, he goes down in the KAL, or supposedly he did, in August the 31st of 83, when the KAL was shot down, and supposedly he and all those people went down to get rid of him. Whether he was on it, I don't know, or a takedown to make people think it. I do know this, and this press told this. Nixon was on that flight. He was taken off just before the flight took off and took all the people down it, and supposedly Larry McDonald. Anyway, I'm in that campaign, and Larry Flint flew me out there because I had been writing about mind control murders, and I just have a short space, so I'm not going. I had a letter from the FBI, all that. I almost died. It gets into a hideous, it always has been. But I met Jens after I came up here, and I know the timeline. They had, I came up here in 86, so I don't say 87, about 88, I guess, is when I was up there, living on the Appalachian Trail. And I had gone to the embassy July the 25th of 87. Anyway, 88 maybe is when I was up there. I guess it doesn't matter because you can document it. It is. Jens and Elizabeth had fled to, because they were trying to arrest them for the murder of her parents, Nancy and Derek Haysome. And she's Canadian. Her father was, I believe, English. He's British citizen, and mother was from here. And this is in next door in Bedford County. And they were killed up, I guess, around Charlottesville. But it's in Bedford County, so it can't be Charlottesville. It must be Lynchburg or something. Yeah, Lynchburg, Boone's Mill. Yeah. Anyway, Jens and Nancy end up from Atlanta, or he was in Atlanta. I'm not sure about her. They end up in up here in Charlottesville, University of Virginia. Very nice. His father was a diplomat, which his father and mother, I believe, are both dead now. He's been in prison, and they moved him to Buckingham. I think that's in Dillwell, state prison here in Virginia, and she was in Goochland. I don't know where she is now. These are beautiful people that didn't commit a crime, but anyway, the way I was telling it, I knew it was a program murder done in patterns. So when I came down here and lived on the trail, I was up there, and when the sheriff from Bedford County came up on the forestry and took me down, and they set me in front of the jail cell. This is role play. You tried telling people want to dismiss it. I'm told by an FBI agent out of Atlanta, you bore them with what you're telling them. It's only when they find out how it affects them that they care. So here's the way it goes. So tired. Those poor people have been in prison too, Jens and Elizabeth. They were going to be arrested, and they ran to England. And they had credit card or something that the United States had sent a warrant, and the Brits had to help send them back here. And the Brits' names fit into this too. But anyway, they're going and arresting them to come back here for a murder they didn't commit. My point is, the sheriff came up there from Bedford, and they were nice. There were 2 cars came up where I was camped, if you could see how I'm living. Call it camping. Had a cougar living behind me. That's for real. Anyway, they didn't put me in the cell. They put me in front of the cell. You have to laugh. It's so ludicrous. And they gave me coffee. I had nowhere to go. I was made homeless and a pauper. And somebody come on at 1 o'clock. But there's a point to putting me in front of, coming up there and getting me that day and putting me in front of the jail cell. And they took me into Roanoke, and by the time I got there, I'm so tired and hungry and out of it from living up there and walking and begging that when I got there, I was in Salvation Army. They put me on a little cot there that you could hardly lie on. I may have slept for 2 hours or 3 at the most, while people go back and forth and they don't give a rat's about you. They don't want to hear any of this. And so I'm right back having to go back up to the National Forest where I was, just have a place to lie down and try to live on boiled fish. That's all I had. Had to catch them out of a little pond. But anyway, back to Jens came in the next day from England, and she was brought back too, Elizabeth. It's just that Jens was put in the cell where I had been the day before on a Friday. I think they brought him in on Saturday. I know it was the day after I was there. So they had me sitting in front of the jail cell, and they put him in that very cell the next day. So this is role playing. It's connected. I'm going to fast forward to Tim Kaine, the former governor. Now he's House of Representatives in the U.S., and he ran on the ticket with Hillary Clinton. Now then, before he left as governor, he had, I don't know if you call it pardoned, Jens so he could go back to Germany. And I think Governor Kaine was out of office in a few days, so the incoming governor, McDonnell, dismissed it, wouldn't let him go. So he's still in prison. It's this morning, it's a timeline, and God knows I pray this is over and everybody hears it, and they have to see and live with what's been done. This morning it was put up that they have this documentary. It's going to be shown about Jens. How much of the truth they put in it, I don't know. I think it's in favor of Jens. But anyway, it was called In the Name of Love, or Murder in the Name of Love. They didn't murder anybody. They've lived in hell. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you know, it's been a long road, and nobody's thanked me. Nobody. I have 2 children that I hope I get to see.